Starting from the character itself, let's talk about the limitations. And usually the character comes with two main limitations that are out of our control. The first aspect from the character that is out of our control is the character design itself. Character design comes with a lot of information that we should acknowledge, like the age, the gender, certain aspects of personality trait, and many psychological aspects that we should always know. How is he dressing, or how is the hair? All those visual aspects give us like a lot of information that we actually we cannot choose it, right? So this process is done generally by the character designer or somebody from the team. And it's a work that is done at the same time that they do character design. They also do like animation studies. So at the same time that they are designing the character, they are seeing what are the possibilities of expression or animation itself that those potential final designs can have. So even before they sign in, or even before they approve the character design, they went already through a process of studying, okay, how this character would behave, how this character would look at, if it's really what we are looking for, does it really matches the description or the needs of the story, is it looking good enough or not, does the director or the supervisor likes it or not. So just think about it, how really when you got a final character design behind it, there is a lot of work on appealing and, let's say, visual language that comes already with that character that we should at least acknowledge or being familiar with. You should have a look to the video of Sergio Pablos and his process doing character design. If you look into the specs of this class, you're gonna find the link to find that video in YouTube, so you can really see how deep and how complex and how long and how, let's say, personal can be the process of designing a character. The other limiting factor that we have in the characters are the rigs, and by the rigs I mean the actual CG puppets. This usually is a big thing when we are strangers in a new show or in a new studio, for example, or working with new characters, where we find that the puppet or the rig itself has hundreds of controls, different attributes, different nature of how they work. All of those controls, some of them they work in translation, some other just in rotation, some other they scale or not. Some of them they have like lots of attributes in the channel box. So usually we need like a lot of time really to get familiar with these rigs. Some of studios they give some time, let's say like a training time, in order to know how to work with these characters. And something that also is secondary in these same technical aspects are all the tools that comes with that rig, or all the tools that came with the let's say 3D functionality of the rig, which is all the tools, like the picker, for example. There are very, very complex pickers out there. The channel box itself can be tricky if we don't know how to work with it efficiently, all the libraries. So the sooner we get familiar with the rigs and the tools and how to combine them, the easier it's going to be for us to do a good creative job. So let's see how we can turn these limiting factors of the character, trying to be more in our side and become more internal factors. The first thing that we should always try to do is to do our best to pick the characters we are working on. In this case, for example, where you guys are just studying or working on a personal shot, you have the possibility to use toy for free. You can always do that. So go ahead, it's all for you. But if for some reason you don't feel called, if it's something that is a character that you don't really find it appealing enough, it's okay. You can go out. It's not that you should actually go out and explore the internet and look for different possibilities and find an alternative to toy. If that's at the end what you really want to do, my recommendation for you is that you spend some time looking at reels from other animators or another students, and have like a very good feeling of what are all the different possibilities that catch your attention. The main goal of this is that you go with your guts. You choose the character that really calls you to be animated. It's very important to have that kind of internal drive to work with visually with a character. In the other hand, if you are working in a studio, well, you can also try to do your best to pick the characters to work on by choosing the shots that you can be working on. Let's say that you got like a new sequence or you're working on a show. Well, take your time to look at the show thoroughly and go for it and see everything that is happening in that show or in that sequence in particular. Go and see the characters, go and find some pre-production images from those characters and try to feel yourself and see what characters are you mainly attracted to. And after that, you can learn to ask humbly to your leads or to your supervisors to work with those characters. Really, this is something that supervisors and leads appreciates a lot. There is nothing wrong about this. I know some animators there are afraid to doing so, but really there is nothing wrong about it. Actually, it's very welcome, and it's very nice to see when an artist or when an animator is confident and humbly shows enthusiasm and interest in working in a particular and a specific shot or in a specific character. So very simply, just if you know an idea, okay, I would like really to work on those shots, you can just approach your lead or your supervisor and, hi, excuse me, I just would like to tell you that I would really like to work on these characters or in these shots because I have these very good ideas, and I would like to try and do my best to do a good job in these shots. As simple as that. And so that's a way to choose a little bit of your characters that you're going to be working on. Okay, so now that more or less you have chosen what are the characters that you are going to be working on, these are a few steps and tricks that we should do in order to continue making the character more in our side. First thing is that we do like a general research of the character, any kind of studies, 2D animation, character design test, or previous process or previous even shots that are being animated with that character that has like a nice, good appealing or a nice sense of expression. Just save it, and if you can, surround yourself with all of that. By that, what you are doing is learning by observation, and you are getting familiar as much as you can with all those let's say visual sources. What you really want is to put in the back of your mind how the character looks at its best, or how the character, what are the real potential of the character, what is that previous library of expressions or appealing possibilities that already are existing somewhere. And by having them close to your eyes, you're facilitating yourself little by little to be familiar and to really get to know a character. The next stage would be copy, and copy. Basically, do your own character pre-production. A character design process takes a lot of time, and it's a process where the character designer just takes like a lot of time to really go in deep of the personality and all the possibilities of the character. So we are gonna be the ones who give life to that character, right? So the last thing we should do, at least, is to also try to do the best that we can to copy what is already been done and try to really merge ourselves with the visual aspects of that character. So you can do this process by either copying by in 2D. If you like drawing, please do so. You don't really need to be good drawing. You just need to go ahead and draw and draw and draw and draw and draw. The other thing that you can do is to get the 3D character and copy all those poses of all that research that you've been doing, and hopefully that by this time you already have all around you and in your room and around your screen and all that. A very good amount to copy, it would be something like around 10 to 15 poses. It would be good if you get like some kind of diverse poses with different emotions and different situations, not only extremes, also know and learn how to pose the character in neutral poses. And again, this is also part of the learning by observation, but now you're jumping into the other kind of learning that is very important and is very strong, which is imitating or copying. So first we surround ourselves, learning by observation, and then we copy, and this is learning by imitating or copying. So for the rig, the very important aspect also to do is just to try to play and to spend a lot of time with the rig before you start working on a scene. Generally, what I do is I create just a scene, a part in my desktop or something that is called testing characters or something, where I usually just have like all the characters that I'm working on, and I try to spend a lot of time with them, just trying to find all those controls, how they move, how are they hidden, how they behave. So this is a way to have always a scene that is like, say, like my sandbox. Then if something happens, if I break it, it's nothing bad. And the other good thing is that we should actually try to play and really to push the character in those tastes and really see what are the limits in order to help ourselves to lose the fear to break things, because many times when we are animating, we hold our creativity a lot because of those fears to break things. Is this gonna look good? No, how is this? So we should first try to really be brave, or at least try to be a little wild, moving things and trying to see how is the character flexibility going, and just for that, just so when we jump into a scene, we're a little bit more comfortable trying to do different kind of deformations and such.